Picture this. You've just had a good day being you. You are tired, you can't wait to get home and take a refreshing bath, yummy dinner, and rest. Your hand is already on the door. You weren't suspicious. You weren't prepared. You were just coming home. Ordinary. Normal. Breathing without thinking about it. And then you open the door. Time doesn't stop. It fractures. Your brain needs about half a second to understand what your eyes are seeing. That's science. Visual information hits the occipital lobe fast, raw, and unfiltered. Shapes. Movement. Skin. Proximity. Then meaning arrives. And when meaning arrives, your body reacts before you do. Your stomach drops. That hollow, sinking sensation is your vagus nerve firing, your parasympathetic system panicking, trying to regulate something it cannot understand fast enough. Your chest tightens. Not metaphorically. Literally. The muscles between your ribs contract as your sympathetic nervous system explodes into action. Adrenaline floods your bloodstream. Cortisol follows. Your heart rate spikes. Your hands feel hot. Then cold. Then numb. This is not emotion yet. This is survival physiology. Your brain has just registered a threat. Not to your life, but to something just as ancient. Attachment. The human brain processes betrayal in the same regions as physical pain. The anterior cingulate cortex lights up. The same place that screams when a bone breaks. That's why it hurts in your chest. That's why your jaw tightens. That's why your fists curl without permission. Your mind is now running faster than language. Thoughts don't come as sentences. They come as flashes. Is this real? I must be wrong. No. I'm not wrong. This can't be happening. Your identity takes a hit. Because betrayal doesn't just say, they cheated. It whispers something more dangerous. Your reality was false. Your brain hates that. The prefrontal cortex, the rational part of you, is being drowned out by the amygdala, the alarm system. The amygdala does not negotiate. It does not reason. It asks only one question. Fight or flee. In that split second, you feel capable of things you have never done before. You feel a surge of power. A violent clarity. A dangerous calm. You imagine screaming. Throwing something. Hitting someone. Saying words that can never be taken back. This is not because you are weak. It's because humans evolved in tribes, and betrayal once meant death. Exile. Loss of protection. Loss of survival. Your body doesn't know it's 2026. Your body thinks it's ancient. Your breathing shortens. Shallow. Fast. Oxygen goes to your muscles, not your thoughts. Your vision narrows. Tunnel vision. This is called perceptual narrowing, your brain eliminating everything except the threat. You hear your own heartbeat in your ears. And then, something happens. A pause. Not a long one. A fragile one. A single breath where you don't move. That breath is everything. Because in that breath, your prefrontal cortex fights its way back online. You remember consequences. You remember who you are. You remember that one moment can split a life into before and after. You feel the urge to act, still there, roaring, but now there's something else alongside it. Control. Not suppression. Control. You feel the tremor in your hands, and instead of letting it turn into violence, you let it shake. You unclench your jaw. Your tongue presses against the roof of your mouth. Grounding, instinctive. You don't say what your mind is screaming to say. Because words said in this state are not communication. They are weapons. You realize something terrifying and powerful at the same time. If you stay, you might become someone you don't recognize. So you choose the hardest option. You turn away. Walking feels unreal. Like your legs belong to someone else. Dissociation kicks in, the brain's way of protecting itself from overload. Sounds feel distant. Your body feels heavy and light at the same time. You don't slam the door. You don't announce anything. You leave. Outside, the air feels sharper. Colder. Realer. Only then do the emotions fully arrive. Not rage fast. Grief. A deep, animal grief. Because anger protects. Grief exposes. Your chest aches, not from adrenaline now, but from loss. The future you thought was secure collapses quietly in your mind. The version of them you believed in dissolves. And still, you're proud. Not loudly. Not heroically. But in the quiet way that matters. Because you didn't let a moment of betrayal steal your character. You didn't let chemistry dictate your legacy. You walked away not because it didn't hurt, but because it hurt too much to let it turn you into something else. And that restraint? That is strength most people never talk about. So, when emotions run high, and when people's personal relationships break down, sometimes one partner reacts violently to the other woman or other man. Maybe you found someone cheating. Maybe you walked in on an affair. Maybe your blood boiled. But listen carefully. Violence is a crime under Kenyan law. Period. Even if you believe you are justified. This video will explain the laws in Kenya, the penalties prescribed, how courts treat these offenses, and why you can end up in jail even if your motive was anger, humiliation, revenge, betrayal, or jealousy. 1. The basic legal framework in Kenya. The Constitution of Kenya. The Constitution guarantees every person's right to human dignity. Article 28 Every person's right to freedom and security of the person, including freedom from violence, every person's right not to be subjected to torture, cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment. This means the law recognizes even the other woman/man as having basic rights. 2. Assault is a criminal offense. Penal Code Cap. 63. In Kenya's Penal Code, Chapters 24 and surrounding provisions make physical assault and violence criminal offenses. Section 250. Common assault. Any person who unlawfully assaults another is guilty of a misdemeanor, penalty, up to 1 year imprisonment if no greater punishment applies. That means any unwanted physical contact or threat is a crime. Section 251. Assault occasioning actual bodily harm. Any person who commits an assault occasioning actual bodily harm is guilty of a misdemeanor, penalty, up to 5 years imprisonment. Meaning, if you hit, punch, kick, slap, or injure someone so that their health or comfort is affected, you can be jailed. 3. What is assault in practice? Kenyan courts interpret assault broadly, an unlawful attempt to inflict harm or cause another to fear immediate hurt. It doesn't matter if you intended to kill, even minor physical violence qualifies. In the case of Vicky Kelangat vs. Republic, 2022, the court upheld that punching, biting, and beating your partner constituted assault causing actual bodily harm, leading to criminal prosecution. 4. You can go to jail for violence. No exceptions. Example penalties in Kenya. Simple assault, up to 1 year in jail. Assault causing actual bodily harm, up to 5 years in jail. If the assault occurs with aggravating factors, like a weapon, the penalties can increase. Let that sink in, you could go to prison for years, just for reacting violently after catching someone cheating. 5. Case example from Kenyan courts. A. Assault causing actual bodily harm. The case of Vicky Kelangat vs. Republic.I. In this case, the allegation was that on June 3, 2021 at Sekonani Trading Center in Narok County, Kelangat assaulted her 9-year-old daughter, Fancy Chepngetich, causing injury by punching, biting, and cutting her with a ponga. She was charged with assault causing actual bodily harm under Section 251 of the Penal Code. This shows that even among relatives, physical violence leads to criminal charges. 6. Self-defense is limited and not a free pass. You may have heard of self-defense, but Kenya law strictly limits it. At common law and incorporated into Kenyan law via Section 17 of the Penal Code, you may only use force when protecting yourself from unlawful violence, preventing an imminent threat, protecting property. But reasonable force only. Not revenge, not punishment, not humiliation. In other words, if someone is attacking you right then and there, you may defend yourself within limits. But if you catch someone with your partner and lash out, that's not self-defense. But it feels unfair, they are attacking my heart, you may argue. But the law is logical, not emotional. 7. Why anger isn't a legal defense. Many people think, I was provoked. But Kenyan law does not allow anger or betrayal as a defense for violence. Assault laws do not include a provocation exception for infidelity. The only reduction might be in sentencing if a court finds mitigating circumstances, but the offense still stands. 8. Domestic violence law does not justify retaliation. Kenya's Protection Against Domestic Violence Act protects spouses and children, but it is about protection and remedy, not permission for violence. Domestic violence proceedings can be civil and can result in protection orders, but they do not legalize violence. Violence remains a criminal offense whether inside or outside marriage. Even if your spouse is cheating, striking the other person does not become lawful. 9. Emphasis, even minimal force is punishable. Kenyan courts apply assault provisions strictly, a single slap or push can lead to charges. A minor injury is enough for 5 years imprisonment under Section 251. A ponga, fist, or object used in anger elevates severity. In the case of Calvin Jr. Oluok vs. Republic, 2022, a man was sentenced to the maximum of 5 years for assault causing actual bodily harm. The High Court agreed the prosecution proved the elements of assault causing actual bodily harm. That the victim was assaulted and suffered actual, non-permanent physical injury. So even if you don't kill someone, you can still be jailed. 11. What happens if you assault someone? Arrest, trial, and prosecution. So, once you hit someone, 1. Police may arrest you on the spot. 2. You are taken into custody. 3. The state prosecutes in criminal court. 4. The prosecution must prove each element of the offense beyond reasonable doubt. 5. If convicted, you can serve the sentence in jail. Kenyan courts have repeatedly convicted people for acts of violence, regardless of motive. 12. Evidence and case law courts assess whether the accused used force, whether the complainant suffered bodily harm, whether the accused had intent or recklessness. 13. Myths versus reality. Myth: if I catch them cheating, the law will set me free. Reality: no. Cheating is not a crime or violence is. Myth: I have a right to punish them. Reality: punishment is only by the court system, not by you. Myth: they cheated, so beating them is justified. Reality: Kenyan law does not excuse violence for infidelity. 14. Final takeaway for every Kenyan. If you physically attack anyone, be it a spouse, a partner, the other person, or anyone else, you are committing a crime punishable by law. You will be charged, prosecuted, and can go to prison, sometimes for years. 15. What you should do instead. 1. Document evidence. Use phones, messages, audio recordings, as long as it's lawful. 2. Seek legal advice. Contact an advocate or lawyer. 3. Do not take the law into your own hands. Violence solves nothing and will harm you more than them. 4. Use legal remedies. Orders in court, divorce proceedings, restraining orders, civil claims. All peaceful legal avenues exist. In the next video, I'll give the remedies you can seek if your partner cheats on you. Stay tuned. In simple words, finding someone in a compromising situation does not give you a legal license to assault them. Violence remains a crime under the Penal Code. Innocent anger often turns into a criminal record, jail time, ruined reputation, and lifelong consequences. If you're in such a situation, breathe, step back, seek legal help, but do not attack. You risk your freedom and your future.